Hi Gemini, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to Pisces season. A lot going on for Gemini still. Like I said last month, I'm a Gemini, so I'm right there with you. I feel ya. We have the sun in Pisces now, and that is hitting your 10th house of career commitments. Parental relationships could be affecting your family, could affect your public image, the way people see you in those types of relationships, so in your career or commitments of some sort. uh, the sun having moved into your 10th house, which is the area of life of those things I mentioned, would have crossed over your midheaven or will be crossing over your midheaven. And the midheaven, is the top of the chart. So it is how you are seen out there in the world. And the sun highlighting that area could give you some recognition, or could bring into focus your career, how you're seen, something around your committed relationships. uh, Pisces is, ruled by Neptune, and Neptune is and has been in your 10th house, uh, you know, affecting that area of life. Neptune and Pisces can cause confusion. It can cause, it can be, it can put you in a bit of a fog. It can, things can, there can be lies and deceits, illusion type things going on in that area. Now that the sun is going in there, that just sort of expands that. Jupiter also has moved into that area of life as well. So it's a lot of concentrated Pisces energy that could manifest itself in many different ways. And, it could be an elevation and healing of that area of life for you. It could be a whole lot of fuckery. It just depends on what's going on in your life for those, with those types of things. So, because, Pisces and Neptune also rule chemicals and drugs and alcohol and things like that. If there are some tough things going on, let's say you're in a state of confusion in that area of life, or things have come out that, or you feel like things are going on that aren't on the up and up. There's a bit of escapism there that could occur with that energy. So be careful of that. It's not a bad thing to, relax a little bit, but, if that's an area of life that you've struggled with, something to definitely, try and balance yourself through. And other good things that you can do in Pisces season is get very quiet, tap into your intuition. That could also be expanded. Jupiter makes things bigger, and in Pisces and Neptune, that's your intuition and things that you sense and feel, that you can't see. So, because it's a very spiritual sign, you could tap into that type of energy by getting very quiet, and that could relieve the stress of anything that might be going on. Again, Neptune can cause healing. If you have placements in the 10th house and they're hitting, these energies are hitting those placements and then offsetting in other areas of your chart, that, a whole lot of other things could be going on as well. With all of the Capricorn energy that is still traveling in the area of life for you, that represents your fears, what's in your psyche, uh, things that you don't want to talk about, things that you keep secret. Could be around the area of your finances and debts, could be around intimate relationships, sexual issues, things like that. With that Capricorn energy, the Mars and Venus that have been conjunct and will still continue to travel together, conjunct through the middle of the month until they separate. That is, in Capricorn, that's very serious action. Mars takes action. Venus wants to create something that's stable and comfortable and secure. And when they're bouncing off one another, it can be a little bit of a push and pull depending on where you're at. But it can also create, an environment where you are able to balance it out as well. So whether that's an intimate relationship or financial issues, you can use that energy to get serious and think about what it is that you want to create. Venus gives grace, so Mars can be aggression, and serious action in Capricorn, and Venus can soften that a little bit. So, there could be difficult things, but Venus could soften that up a little bit and show you a way through. The eighth house is also the house of what's mystical and psychic abilities. So, could be working on things like that in that area. And that would hopefully not cause a lot of stress unless those things were activating and bringing up fears. So, yeah, a lot of possibilities with that energy. Mercury was, as you know, if you didn't know, now you know, Mercury was in Capricorn as well, which was adding, the area of the mind and thoughts and, decision making to that Capricorn energy with the Mars and Venus. So, a little bit heavier and more somber energy that you could have had to work through and think about and process and take action, create in a more practical way to create some stability. So now that Mercury has moved in to Aquarius out of Capricorn, it sort of lets that up a little bit. And Mercury being the mind, moving into the ninth house of expansion, you should have a little bit more. You should feel a little bit easier in terms of making moves or at least processing your thoughts, unless the things that are happening for you in that area of life are super super heavy, and then it can cause some anxiety. But overall, Mercury in Aquarius can allow you to come up with some new and different sort of revolutionary ways to break free and figure out a way out, or or plan of resolution for anything heavy that you might have been dealing with in the area of your finances or debts or intimate relationships. And that includes marriages. You may have been needing to unpack a marriage, combined resources, things like that. So Mercury going into Aquarius will loosen it up a little bit and allow you to sort of break out of that and come up with a way to expand and move things forward. Hopefully that's what that Mercury Aquarius can do for you, is give you a little bit more freedom from the issues that you may have been dealing with. The sun, when it went into Pisces, did square the nodes that are traveling in Taurus and Scorpio. South node Scorpio, which is where we came from, things from the past, things that come up to deal with that, we may have stuffed down or could have been hidden. Something with that sun squaring in the first few days of Pisces season, it has let up now. By the time you listen to this video, as of today, could have brought something up that is necessary for you to deal with. So whatever that is, Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. It brings it up. It wants it to be transformed. It doesn't always feel good, especially things coming up from the past, things we may not have wanted to deal with. But Pluto does transform a lot of that. The trick there is to let it come up and sort of go with it. Pluto does its thing. There's not much we can do about it. So it's except try to figure out a way to work with it and lean into it is probably a good way. North node, coming from the south node Scorpio into the north node in Taurus, is an earth energy, but it's an earth energy that wants to create security and comfort. It can be about your resources and finances. So it's bringing it in out from underneath. and bringing it to a place that is tangibly better and more secure and more comfortable. Squares create tension, so they don't always feel good at first, but the idea is that the universe is trying to push something out that needs to be dealt with and move it into something that is much more positive for you in your life. So hopefully that square was and is not too difficult to deal with. And if you have placements in Taurus and Scorpio, and again those nodes are hitting those placements, it can intensify the effect of the nodes moving, because Uranus has been traveling in Taurus, and for most Geminis is hitting their 12th house, which is the house of our connection to the divine, our intuition, our dreams, insights. Uranus can create insights. Uranus can also create anxiety. So it depends again on what's going on in your life and the other placements in your chart. But eventually that north node will hit Uranus, that has been traveling in Taurus. Not quite yet. The nodes have just begun their transit, so it's about halfway through it'll meet up with Uranus that's been transiting in your 12th house. And depending on what's happening in your life, you could have a complete and sudden burst of insight and intuition coming into gifts even, or something could change and come out that you weren't aware of, that you have to deal with. So I will talk more about the Scorpio South Node, Taurus North Node, and how it affects the signs as we go through the next year and a half. I did do a video when the nodes went into Taurus and Scorpio. So if you want to roll it back and take a look at that, it kind of explains a little bit more about exactly what that means. So that is what is going on and highlighted in Pisces season for Gemini. As a Gemini, I would say, because there's so much heavy energy going on, if you're dealing with some difficult things, really just, trying to get quiet and, go inside. I know there's a lot of thinking, being a Gemini rising, a lot of thinking, and you try to come to a level of logic, and sometimes it can be exhausting. So find a way to relax. In Pisces season, sleeping is really good. Reading, doing something in water. Gemini risings like to talk, so in the season where there's a lot of Pisces energy, you may not want to talk as much or socialize as much, and that's okay. But when you feel like you can, it's a good time to reach out to somebody that you can trust, or because Gemini is a writer, usually Gemini risings, they can write. Writing is very good, so journaling would be a good thing, especially your dreams. With all of this Pisces energy, no matter what area of life it's affecting, you could have insights into your dreams, so good time to journal in your dreams. So that is what's going on with Gemini. And of course, these are general explanations and readings of the energies that are present in the sky right now and how they could be affecting you. Every sign has a huge range of descriptions and explanations of how they can manifest. So this is general. It may not be exactly what is going on with you, and if not, that's fine. But if you want to know how these energies are affecting you personally, and you want to take a look at your birth chart or any kind of transits, anything coming up, get a hold of me at GeminiFire65@msn.com. I would love to read for you and get to know you. And I will keep an eye out for more on this series for the U.S. Pluto return, other things this month as the stars move around and create conversations. I'll be back to talk about some of those things during the month and your April Aries 2022 reading. Keep an eye out for that in about 3 or 4 weeks. Otherwise, in the meantime, may the stars forever be in your favor. And I'll see you next time. Bye.